edition of Forbes 2 on 2. I'm Aaron Perlett.
And I'm Jason Falls.
And today we've got a rare 2 on 2. Now we're actually together. Jason's in St. Louis to speak about his new book, No Bullshit Social Media. Very exciting stuff. But first we're going to talk about something that's going on with the Ragu brand.
Yeah, so Ragu has started this campaign where they're using some mommy bloggers who are sort of informally talking back and forth about various cooking issues and whatnot. And they posted a video on several social networks, on their blog and whatnot, a couple of days ago, where 3 mom bloggers are talking about dad's cooking night. So when it's dad's turn to cook. And they made these jokes like, oh, the kids love it because it's always pizza or waffles or something on the grill. And the insinuation was that dads can't cook. And they were trying to be tongue-in-cheek and humorous with it, but some people sort of read it the wrong way because they didn't really do a good job of sort of over-exaggerating the stereotypes, which is the point I want to make on it. Chapman, who is a marketing blogger and experienced social media strategist, had a reaction, and we'll link to it here in the 2 on 2 post called Ragu Hates Dads. And he had voiced his opinion for several days, never really heard back from the brand, which was another problem in and of itself. But there were 2 things that came across in the video, and you can go watch the video on Cece's post. One was there was this stereotypical implication that dads can't cook, even though people like Cece Chapman, who does cook healthy meals for his kids, obviously reverse that stereotype. The second thing is the moms were even talking about when it's dad's night to cook, they have a glass of wine and sort of passively watch the children. So it almost painted moms out to be these sort of lazy lushes. The big problem that I had with the whole thing was that they were using stereotypes as a foundation for humor, which I don't have a problem with. But what I did have a problem with was we've fallen in victim to the notion that when you are doing videos online because of social media, you should use real people and you shouldn't script it and it should be natural. But when you use stereotypes as the foundation for your humor, you have to over-exaggerate things or there's ambiguity, and where there's ambiguity, people get confused and get offended, like Cece Chapman.
Yeah, I remember when you first told me about the post, I went and read it, and I'm like, maybe, Cece might be kind of getting a little too excited about something that's not that big a deal. I thought about it, I watched the video, and where I came down on it was, one, purely on a very tactical level, the video itself, not very well produced, and I understand the whole issue about authenticity, but it wasn't a very well done video to begin with. More importantly though, from a strategic standpoint, if you're out pitching the video, why on earth are you sending this video that directly attacks dads in a way that's really not very much in kind of a parody style to dads, to dad bloggers, to people who care about responsible fathering and parenting? It's kind of like me writing a post on the values of bacon and how delicious bacon might be, and it is the most delicious meat, of course, but then sending it to PETA. It just, from a strategic standpoint, it really made no sense, especially when 85% of your audience is women, 15% of your audience might be dads. Why not send it to every mom blogger that you can possibly send to? Danielle Smith at extraordinarymommy.com, she might love a video like that, but not to Cece, who's really into responsible parenting from a father's perspective. Made little sense to me.
Right.
So moving on to the next topic today, Google Plus, Jason. We're in a couple months. What do you think?
Well, I like Google Plus in that it does offer an interesting new mechanism and new platform to share. It's kind of a combination of Twitter and Facebook, a little cleaner and less busy than Facebook, which is nice. But the biggest thing about Google Plus is the circles of friends. So it lets you put a list of friends in a circle and share that content only with them, which alleviates a lot of the problem that some people have with things like Facebook and Twitter. So I can have a group of people in a circle that are just clients or just colleagues or just high school friends and share only with them and no one else sees it. The big thing for businesses, though, is that it allows you to go in and segment your customers so you can talk only to your female customers only to your male customers, or other demographic segmentations, or customer like loyal customers versus just passive clientele, if you can educate your customers about being on Google Plus and whatnot. The biggest drawback right now, though, is that we still don't know how businesses are going to be able to use it because business profiles and pages haven't really been sort of unveiled by Google. But I think the real big thing that we have to watch out for with Google Plus is, are they going to use Google Plus social signals in search results? Does a +1, does a comment, does a link on Google Plus change how your business's content is ranked in a search engine result? And if it does, are they equally going to weigh social signals from other social networks? If they don't, I think Google crosses the line and becomes evil.
I think actually, I think you just hit on the key aspect of it, and that is the search piece of it. When I think of it overall, it's like my dad would say, yeah. But that's simply because there's not enough body of work to make a judgment by, a fair assessment. I like it personally. I like going in there. I like the functionality, thus far the usability. But I think you're absolutely right. And when we were about a month into it, I actually started just testing search on different names for people that I knew that had Google Plus accounts. And magically somehow, even though people aren't spending a lot of time in there, I started to see people's Google Plus accounts rising to that first page that had no business being on the first page. I Googled my own name, and it came up with mustaches, really good looks, and then my Google Plus account, and then more mustaches. And I think something about poor performing human beings, but something like that. So I do think that the way that Google could potentially manipulate search results and push that up so it has an extra leverage on Facebook, especially once they do introduce the brand pages, that's going to be the really fascinating thing to see.
That's very cool. And much like the noise that he made when he imitated his father's reaction, I will share with you my grandfather's final words on this earth, which were, don't play with that, it's loaded.
That's it for this segment of Forbes 2 on 2. I'm Aaron Perlett.
And I'm Jason Falls.
Thank you.